Well, you know, there is a lot of talk now about doing these laneway houses. And we're standing in front of one. And I have to say, I'm so impressed because we're down here in Lake Bonavista. Indeed. I would have never thought I would have seen the day when we saw a laneway house in Lake Bonavista, but it's actually happening. True because everything has changed in Calgary. And this kind of a product, I think, is a fantastic option for anybody to consider. And in this video, we're going to talk about all the benefits and features of getting a laneway house. All right, so I'm standing here with Paul Klassen. He's the CEO of Pinnacle Renovations, and I've worked with Paul for many, many years. They do an amazing job. What quality, it's absolutely incredible. Paul, what have you guys done here?
Yeah, thanks, Rob. So appreciate you bringing me onto this video too. This is a laneway home, as you mentioned earlier. This client is actually a repeat customer. We did a renovation for her 22 years ago. So the story behind this is she really wanted options as she aged. So she's not old, but she's aging and she wanted options. So things like a caregiver suite, perhaps, adult children loft suite, so they have independence and autonomy from the primary residence, so she can be in her own residence and children up here, or a VRBO. And then, of course, the other part of it is the hobby. If you look at the greenhouse just right beside the garage here, the laneway, this garage for her is going to be her hobby space. So it could be a man cave, whatever you want to call it, but for her, it's her hobby space. That was kind of the impetus of this project.
Well, the first thing I noticed is these 8-foot doors.
Yeah, you're on to me, Rob. Well, yeah, because if you're going to do a VRBO and we're in ski country, you're a skier, an avid skier, then you want an 8-foot high overhead so that your SUV with a Thule on top, is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah.
It can roll right in without a hiccup. So yeah, thanks for noticing.
Yeah. All right, we're going to go inside and have a look and give you an idea of just what you can actually create with these laneway homes. I'll say the sky is the limit, of course, as long as you have the space. There's only so much space depending on the size of the yard.
And the budget.
And the budget, yes. Yeah, we're going to talk about whether you should consider maybe putting one of these in, renovating, or maybe even just relocating to a new property and maybe doing something like this there.
Indeed, absolutely. Yeah. You have the opportunity to do that. Find us that beautiful property that allows for a laneway. That's an option as well. I'm just going to walk over quickly and just show you something that we do often in our projects. It's called a solar array rough-in. This, what looks like a vacuum pipe, is actually a conduit fed all the way to the attic. This laneway home is going to get a complete solar array, so it's pretty cool. But the panel's all set up, full EV, full solar on the entire project. Kind of cool. Well, here we are in beautiful Lake Bonavista, walking up to this laneway loft area. First thing you'll notice is 9-foot ceiling heights throughout. It's a studio suite, so we had the option to close the walls. We didn't. Bedrooms around there, bath, mechanical room, closet, stacker washer and dryer. L-shaped kitchen over here, sofa area, TV, just nicely set up with so many options here. Something that I just want to point out is there are a myriad of different floor plans you can go with. Obviously, size dictates to some degree as well, but if you even just walk into this space, the bedroom space is very bright and open. We really wanted to wrap the space in windows. This client is just ecstatic. This was customized for her specifically, but many options, of course.
You know, there's so many people right now that are just not aware of what you can do with these laneway houses. And I love what you've created here, Paul. I just think this is fantastic. This is customized for this particular client. But again, there's so many things you can do. Some of these have 2-bedroom plans, some of them 1-bedroom plans. But I want you to understand, if you're watching this video and you're sitting at home right now and you're trying to think, what are my options? Well, just first of all, reach out to me because I can give you a lot of them. Number one, if you're not living in a home that you could do one of these in, we could find one for you. Or possibly if you are living in an older neighborhood, right, and you've got the space, because in case you weren't aware, just about any neighborhood in Calgary, you can do this in.
That's correct.
Yeah.
That's correct.
And so anything is possible now. The city is supporting this and it's giving so many options, right?
Indeed.
Like in this particular case, she's more of aging and really wants that option for herself.
Indeed.
But what if I've got children that are maybe can't really afford to get into the real estate market? This would be a fantastic option. You had one where they recently decided to have the parents live upstairs.
Correct,
right?
Yeah.
And they're going to be living next to their kids. So, you know, any way you slice it, this can be a good investment property. You want to Airbnb it.
Indeed.
You want to rent it out long term. So it could be a revenue stream.
Exactly.
So I have to say, you know, you heard the old saying, the sky's the limit.
Yeah.
But this is truly the sky is the limit.
True.
So, you know, we love the Renovate or Relocate program. And I'd have to say, if you're not in a position right now to renovate your current home, maybe get into one that you can do this, and you'll have a fantastic future with this.
Indeed.
Now, this particular client, for Renovate or Relocate, she did discuss selling, right?
We talked a lot about different options, and we do almost with every client. That conversation comes up.
Right. So as a real estate agent, I, of course, didn't get the listing because she decided that this was the best option. Now, why did she want to stay here?
Great point. I mean, I think it comes back to kind of the theme of this video, and that is the kind of the Renovate or Relocate. It comes down to location, location, location. And for Lake Bonavista, who wants to leave Lake Bonavista? I have clients that want to relocate inside Lake Bonavista, not outside. So this was there's such a draw to this community. Interestingly enough, Rob, you and I both have heard from realtors this last week, not thinking that Lake Bonavista was possible, that you could do a secondary or a laneway. Speak to maybe to that a bit.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that don't think the neighborhood they live in, like Lake Bonavista, because this is one community. When it was built, I'd have to say Mr. Keith himself would probably roll over in his grave if he actually saw one of these in Lake Bonavista. Right. But times have changed, and the city of Calgary is supporting this, and that's why it is all about options, and I love it. Even though I didn't get the listing, I'm actually really happy for this lady. This made best sense for her to stay here and put one of these in. So I think if you have questions, just reach out to us.
Thanks, Rob. Really appreciate that overview. But just a quick summary, like all the options that are available here. So it could be man cave, could be hobby shop on the main floor in the garage area, could be extra revenue. Truth be known, people rent out their garage, and then the loft can be VRBO. It can be adult living. It can be caregiver suite. It can be a kid that's about to go to college. All these opportunities are so amazing with Laneways. So I really appreciate you collaborating with us on this, Rob. It's such an awesome conversation.